What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Titans defense. When we actually get into the film, I'm going to be looking at them against the Steelers, just because they have a bad offensive line, just like we do. So I figured that would be a pretty optimal team to look at, to kind of give us a decent idea of what's going on. Now, they did actually lose this game, so that's interesting. So we'll kind of have to take a look at some of that. But anyway, let's take a look at their depth chart first. Jeffrey Simmons, it looks like they're running a 3-4, which makes sense with their personnel. Jeffrey Simmons as a 3-4 defensive end is a fantastic player. Absolute terrorist in there. They got some pretty good nose tackle play from Tart and Naquan Jones. Looks like Autry might not play, but Darrell's pretty solid. Harold Landry, I assume, will probably play. Like I said, I'll do my normal, pregame analysis and stuff like that on who's active, who's not. My game day report, I'll do that as usual. But Harold Landry is fantastic. He'll give you a lot of pressure, especially paired with Jeffrey Simmons. Looks like Bud Dupree's probably not going to play, so that kind of helps. David Long, Zach Cunningham, Rashawn Evans, they got linebackers for days. Janoris Jenkins, Christian Fulton, Elijah Molden, who I'm a big fan of. I have a video on him as like a nickel corner. I have a thing for him coming out of the draft. I'm a big fan of Elijah Molden. He's a very angry-ass little dude. Amani Hooker, Kevin Byard, like they got guys, man. This defense is fantastic. It's going to be something that's going to be a very hard thing to crack. I think this is going to be a really big defensive war. So let's kind of take a look. So right off the bat, we have a pretty standard 3-4 look here. We've got the two edge rushers out there and then have 3 down linemen, 2 middle linebackers back. Interesting that they're giving the receivers quite a bit of space. And they are a pretty physical defense, too. I'm very nervous about how our offensive line is going to hold up. So here they go for more of a 4-3-ish type of look. Yes, I know that this guy's standing up, but as far as the blocking scheme goes, you would still block this as if it was a 4-3. So look out for that. Again, though, they're giving the receivers quite a bit of space. They are doing man, though. They're playing off as if it would be zone, but it's not. They are playing man. Or at least the corner was. So it's looking like a single high safety look, but yeah, this guy's going to back up. No, it's... Oh, interesting. So they're making it look like this will be the single high safety. He starts to move back pre-snap, and then once the ball is snapped, he comes down. So some interesting safety play back there. I would like to see us play with a little bit of tempo to kind of neuter their ability to do that with their safeties. So now they're doing straight up press man coverage. Is he going to back up? He sure is. And they're going to have 2 safeties back there. Hopefully we can get this look, and hopefully Tua sees it. We love them slants, man. All right. So, again, we've got more of a 4-3 look here. Yeah, because I would still look at this nickel basically as a linebacker spot. Like if you're running the ball, like that's how you would have to block it. Again, they're giving the receivers a considerable amount of space. And what actually happened on this play? The fuck? Did that get batted, or did he just hit his lineman in the head? Okay, that got batted. Okay, cool. So now we've got one guy pressing. This guy's kind of playing off. Is this going to be a cover 3 look? We've got this safety coming down. Now the corners are going to back up last second. And it's actually more of like a quarters thing. They moved their DBs around a lot. Made Ben second guess what he was doing. Interesting. One second. Alright, my bad. I was just confirming that Christian Fulton is number 26 down here. So this is the second time now where, when they're doing press man coverage, this slant has worked very well on him twice. Like, this has busted him up multiple times now. That might be exploitable. We love doing that with Waddle and Devontae Parker. That might be a bit of a crack in the armor. Alright, so he's pressing. Let's take a look at... Oh, yeah. You can get some space out of this dude. You can absolutely get some space out of this dude. Jalen Waddle can cook that dude. I want to exploit that. I want to exploit the shit out of that. Then we can use the RPO to kind of freeze up the linebackers a little bit. That could be something. Ooh, what's this? They're doubling him. So they got 4 down linemen. This is more like a dime look. Then they're going to bring over another DB to kind of double up. I think that's Claypool. Interesting. Don't be surprised if they do that to Waddle. Because we all know that he's what our offense goes through. So. They do a mix of man and zone. And they really like to move their defensive backs around. They're not doing a whole lot of crazy things with their D-line. Their D-line is relatively straightforward. But their DBs are more complicated, what they're doing with them. Yeah, Fulton is the guy we can exploit. Look at that. Christian Fulton in man coverage is definitely something we can attack. For sure. Wouldn't mind some bunch formations. Would not be upset at that. Let's go to the next drive here. Let's do a touchdown drive. Let's see where the Steelers have success. Because I feel like besides Najee Harris, I feel like our offense is fairly similar. Bad offensive line. Their Claypool is our Devontae Parker / Matt Collins. Their Deontay Johnson is Jalen Waddle. So, even though Waddle's better, in my opinion. But doing quite a bit of zone. Seeing quite a bit of quarters. We're seeing... Man, we've actually seen quite a bit. So, we've seen cover 2. We've seen cover 2 man. We've seen cover 3. We've seen quarters. We've seen single high man coverage. We've seen quite a few things from the Titans. And we've also seen, some 3-4 defenses. We've seen some 4-3. Even seen some 4-2s. It's been interesting. Some dime packages. See, this is more of a 4-2. 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers. This guy is straight up on the tight end. But I do think that, like I said, I think Christian Fulton is something that can be attacked for sure. See, so it's interesting, right? So they have their DBs back, their corners, and then they have 2 safeties back here. Kind of showing either quarters or maybe cover 2. Probably cover 2 because these corners aren't a little bit further. But right before the snap, this safety kind of moves forward as if, he's going to move forward. This guy would move here. And it would be more like a cover 3 situation. But no, it's just a bit of a disguise. It actually is still a cover 2. Because post-snap, he's going to move right back into position. And these corners are going to freeze because it is, in fact, cover 2. And it is a Tampa 2 as well. The reason you could tell it's Tampa 2 is because of this linebacker dropping back. But man, if you can get a good throw here, that's the move. If you can get a good throw. Cover 3. Well, not cover 3. I meant to say 4-3. This is more like a cover 2 or quarters. But this safety is very much... That's interesting. He's very far to the right. I feel like we've used the Steelers a lot in our film sessions. I feel like they just played a lot of the same opponents as us. Najee's fantastic, though, man. We definitely ain't got a Najee Harris. So their safety, this safety is going to come down. Is it actually going to be? Looks like, yeah, it's straight up single high. Not seeing a whole lot of blitzes, though. Which, I mean, makes sense, I guess. If you know that their offensive line is bad, you probably don't have to blitz as much. And also one thing to consider too, with them doing a lot of quarters in Tampa too, expect a lot of that against us. Because of how much we throw the ball versus run it. Because our offensive line is bad and our running backs are pretty mediocre. So expect them to play their DBs back a little bit, kind of like most of our opponents have. But I think that'll pretty much do it. I think we've gotten a pretty good idea of what the Titans defense is trying to do. They like to move their DBs around, not even just their safeties. They move their corners around a lot too. They do a lot of 3-4 and 4-3 things. Seen a little bit more 4-3. So that's something that's kind of interesting to watch. They don't do a whole lot of crazy blitzes. They do mix in some, but they do some cover 3, cover 2, quarters. Like they really mix it up. But I would expect a lot of cover 2 and quarters against us just because we don't run the ball well. Definitely, though, it looks like Christian Fulton is something that we can exploit because Ben didn't see it a whole lot, but a lot of those underneath routes, he was getting cooked. So I want to take advantage of that. So, yeah, anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, appreciate you hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.